reality of many people. When we talk about poverty, what's your first thought on that?
Sometimes I've heard people say things like poverty is not when you lack money. Poverty is when you lack ideas, and so on and so forth.
Poverty is something that we deal with in our, not just in our generation, it's as long as human civilization itself. Even the Bible mentions it in passing. It says, the poor you'll have with you always. People don't like to be called that, but it's the reality of many people. When we talk about poverty, what's your first thought on that?
Sometimes I've heard people say things like poverty is not when you lack money. Poverty is when you lack ideas, and so on and so forth. While I understand that, you cannot separate poverty from depravity. The moment you don't have what it takes to get the basic things of life, the basic things of life, the way the UN will put it is that anyone will live below $1 per day.
Yeah.
So if you don't have what it takes to afford the basic necessities of life, I think that's poverty.
This is the case of a lot of people. This is the case of. So I want to come from the angle, and you made a statement that a lot of people claim that it is not only when you lack resources that you are poor, and you've debunked that fact. But that has been the narrative for a long time, that you can lack money but be rich in other things, and that in itself is wealth in itself. For example, a good name. So what is the connection between virtues and having finance? Because many people will want to equate and say that's not the ultimate test of a person's.
I think I get what you're saying, the concept of a good name. I think we can call that social capital.
Yeah.
But again, I still will not want to move from the fact that it doesn't matter how good the name is. If a person cannot afford the basic necessities of life, that's poverty.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are statements that I feel are a bit harsh. I'll explain. Yes. Say when we say a man that cannot take care of his household is worse than an infidel.
Yeah.
Is that a harsh statement, or is that a statement of fact? Because there are factors that many might want to argue might be the reason why a person might tend toward that reality.
As to whether it is harsh, maybe it is. As to whether it's a fact, the Bible said.
Yes.
I think the context is the fact that one of the signs of godliness is that we are able to mature to do in every season what the season demands. Now, I've seen in cases, very painful cases, where, and permit me, and this is not a way to generalize this conversation, maybe a man and a woman married, there is no food in the house. The man sits down pressing his phone. The woman can't even afford pure water. He won't apply for jobs. He feels too big for the ones around. And the woman is there in agony. She's there in pain, thinking of how to escape. He took her from her father's house in very good condition. And now she's becoming a shadow of herself. If a man won't make a move in that situation, to do anything to cater for his family, it's worse than an infidel.
True.
So it is in that context. Again, the subject of poverty and lack is such that the society can be a lot emotional about. And I think the most important thing is that we've got to separate those emotions so there can be clarity.
Yeah.
And then people, because if you have not properly diagnosed the situation, the person who is battling with that may not get the help that they need. While sometimes it sounds noble that people genuinely care for those who are in that state, it is also important that we don't build a society where we do not provide what it takes for people to come out of that state, which includes, number one, knowing that you're there, number two, having the right knowledge to come out, and number three, the right opportunity to be able to come out of that situation. If you don't accept that this is my state, you will not embrace the knowledge, and when the opportunity comes to come out of it, you feel others can go get it, I can't get it. So I think the most disturbing thing is when there is lack in a place and the person is not aware, or is aware but is not willing to do anything.
Take responsibility.
That is a very chaotic situation.
Do you believe there are poverties that are orchestrated institutionally? I mean, a deliberate plot to keep people at a level. Let me just share a research that I came across. And they were speaking about it's on social welfare. And the idea, the concept of social welfare, and it's this. Those that qualify for social welfare are those that do not work, those that are jobless, so to speak. If you can work, and if you work, you are off if you earn a certain amount of money, you're no longer eligible to get those social welfare.
Which also means that if you get that kind of amount, you're going to have to pay tax.
Yes. So a lot of people end up faring better when they depend on social welfare as opposed to when they work, because now when they're working, they are earning not as much as they even were getting from the social welfare, but now there's tax involved, there are bills to pay, and then it appears as though the people are better off when they are not doing anything and depending on social welfare. Do you think that there is poverty that is institutionalized?
Let me give you an historical fact, something you can go verify. Anybody can go check this up. When the native Canadians were conquered, got in, and displaced, and those things that happened. There were institutions built around them to keep them marginalized. And one of it was the structure for social welfare. In the sense that you provide basic things for these guys. They are not strong enough anymore. You see a structure that looks kind. Stipends is sent to them every month. And also side by side with that structure is the availability of money without purpose and without a pursuit. Now you see people now get hooked on drugs. It now becomes an institution that when they get the money from the government, because it keeps coming, and now you don't have to work. And that you don't have to work means you don't have to pursue meaning. So what are you going to do?
A purposeless life.
It's a purposeless life. So you see the cycle of drug, crime, women. And this is how many civilizations have been wiped out. So you must understand that when you build emotional structure around people that takes meaning from them, you establish them transgenerationally in poverty. And it's a dangerous thing. So as to whether it is a deliberate structure and all that, my dad taught me something while we were growing up. If something goes wrong in the house, and he's going to ask, who do you suspect? Maybe something is missing or something like that. And it trained us, you must have an intuition. You should have someone in your mind that you think. And so it taught us something, that if you want to know who is responsible for something, you want to check who benefits from it. So the question is if you have poverty in a society, who benefit from poverty in society? Number one, the powerful benefit from it, because when you have vast number of people who are poor, then they become controllable, they become usable, they become cheap. You can get them to do anything.
Can be weaponized.
They can be weaponized as against several agendas. You use them to run propagandas. You can be showing up in a city and then pay 1,000 people 5,000 naira and get them to show up for you in mass at the airport. You take the publicity as a sign that you're a popular person there. But people were able to come out of their houses to come stand here Not because they like you, because they're in the state where they are buying.
Oh, yes.
They can fill stadiums for a person they don't like, because at the end of the day, there's going to be cheap salt, cheap bag of rice, and sometimes it's not even rice. We've seen cases where it is gari, sugar, and all that. And so, who benefits from people's lack? Whoever benefits from it needs the system to continue. So poverty is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it keeps the powerful in power.
In simple terms, the rich benefit from the poverty of the poor.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You said the powerful.
I just painted the situation, and there are things that we can observe all around us. For instance, the schools. What are they designed for? Or as we